Hello and welcome to Google Docs tutorial number 4, where we're going to explore some more formatting options for Google Docs. I have a little bit of a cold, but we have to do this anyway. So, in this tutorial, we are going to build a flyer for an event that we actually did, a competition that we did last year, where we built a quadcopter. And so the end result will look something like this. The text is all written for you, so you don't have to do anything, and the images are all selected. There's a little bit of room for some improvisation, but for the most part, it'll look exactly the same. So open the starting file in a new tab, and what you'll have to do, since you won't be able to edit this, is you'll have to make a copy into your Google Drive. So click File, click Make a Copy, and then we will put it in a new folder, or in our ITECH 100 folder, which is down here. And I'll probably call it Flyer. And hit OK. I don't think I moved it correctly. Yeah, it's in the wrong folder still. Oops, my drive. ITECH 100. Move here. Okay. Done. So if it doesn't get moved correctly, that's one way of fixing that problem. So I'm going to close the other copy of this, and I'm going to move my tutorial window out here. There are 3 images that we'll be inserting, and so we will do those as we move through. Okay, let's start. Take a look. We've got our headings are already kind of bolded, so we know what the content is. Now we just want to make it into more of a flyer-like, format. So the first thing we'll do is we'll make the title look kind of interesting. So we'll highlight this text up here, and we're going to insert some word art. Or rather, we're going to replace this text with some word art. In Microsoft Word, this works a little differently, but we're using Google Docs, and then the result is actually quite similar. So we'll hit Insert, we'll go down to Drawing, and we'll say New. This new kind of interface will show up. Under Actions, we'll go down to Word Art, and we will type quadcopter competition and hit Enter on your keyboard. Go ahead and select, with the word art itself selected, go ahead and select a fill color, pick kind of a lighter fill color and a darker border color. I think we'll maybe go with something more orangey, or maybe more blue here. Whoops. Blue for the border color. There we go. Pick colors that complement each other. Yellow and blue go really well together. So save and close, and then watch what happens. Boom. It'll replace the original title with this word art. Now let's select the part here that is the name of the college. We will triple click it to select the entire paragraph, and then we'll go up to here, and we'll make it the subtitle style. We'll center it, and we'll make it just a little bit smaller so that things will fit. So move it down to size 12. Now, we want to make this into columns because columns are actually easier to read. So, and we want people to read this as much as possible. So we'll go up to here, click right before the W in the first content paragraph, select the Insert menu, and go down to Break. And what we want to do is we want to make a continuous section break. So, boom. What that does is it allows us to do things to this part of the text that won't affect the rest of the document. So once we have that set up, we can go up here and have our insertion points somewhere inside of this text. We go up to Format, we go to Columns, and then we'll go to 2 columns and see how it splits the whole content into 2 columns, but it doesn't affect anything above the break. For right now, we don't have, our text isn't balanced very well, so let's actually do that right now. So click before the word when on here, go to Insert, and then we'll insert a column break, and that'll kind of balance the text between the 2 columns. Pick a logical place when you're doing this in the real world. Next, the text here is actually 2 different things that could actually go in a list. So these are two bullet points. So let's make them that. Let's select this text down here, and then go up into here and hit bulleted list. And then that looks a little bit more readable. Let's do something kind of fun. Let's change this W into a drop cap. In Microsoft Word, there's a tool that just automatically does this, but we're going to have to do it ourselves. And this gives us an opportunity to play around with word art again and with image manipulation. So we'll go select the W, have it highlighted by your mouse, and click Insert, and once again go to Drawing and select New. So what this will do is it'll replace the W with whatever we do in here. So we'll go to Actions, we'll do Word Art, and we'll just do a capital W and hit Enter. So with the W selected, have the color, the fill color and the border color both be black. So it's just a black W. Save and close, and you'll notice that it does this, which is kind of cool, but it's not quite what we're looking for. We're looking for a drop cap, which is basically a large letter that takes up the first 2 rows of text, maybe. So we'll turn on wrapping text, and then we'll make this thing a little bit smaller. Maybe about there. We'll go a little bit smaller even. And then we'll drop the margin to 0 so the text squeezes in right around it. And then we've got this. So it gives you a little bit of visual interest. It starts the person reading, and it looks nice. Next, we want to insert some images. So in the tutorial, in the actual text, there is a image inside the text. You can also find it by opening this link to another page. But what you can do is you can just right-click on this picture and hit Copy Image. And then back in here, you can click on your keyboard, hold the Control key, and push V. And that'll insert the image into your document. This isn't exactly what we want, because right now it's basically pushing all the text to the top or the bottom of this image. We're going to turn on Wrap Text. So with this thing selected, you can have the text kind of flow around it. And now all we want to do is maybe make the margin a little narrower, like 1/16 of an inch, and then slowly make this thing smaller until you see the text kind of start to look nice again. And then move it around until you see those guidelines appear, so that you know that it's aligned to the top of the column and the center, the right edge of the column. Boom. And that looks quite good. Something like that. It doesn't matter if your words line up exactly the same as mine. It'll be just fine. Let's insert one more image. Once again, there's a link to the image here. I'll open it in a new tab. Copy image. Move this back out of the way. And this time we're going to put this image here after the bottom text. So we'll hit Control V, because it's in the system clipboard, and the picture of someone soldering will appear. So right now, this is set to be inline with text. We want it to wrap text. So you'll click Wrap Text, move it down so all the text is above it, and then drag from one of the corner handles to make it a little bit smaller, just a little bit. It doesn't need to be super small. And then drag it so that you know that it's centered in the column. So you see this little snap, the red line appears, and that means it's centered. Oh, and I lost a little bit of text, so I'm going to drag it down just a little bit, and there we are. Perfect. The last image is the floral motif from the college website. And you can find this image here. There it is. Copy image. And we'll paste it here at the bottom of the text. Paste. Set it to wrap text so that everything will flow around it, and then move it to the bottom of the page. And then try to get it centered in the page. You'll need to make it a bit larger. And you may have to fiddle with this for a little bit to get it looking right, but that's about it. And there we have it. The flyer is complete. If you want to see, oops, let's go zoom out to 75% so we can see the whole thing. And that's it. To submit, once again, I have this in my ITECH 100 folder, and I have the file is named flyer. So on Canvas, you would hit Select Assignment, go to the Google Drive, tab, when your Google Drive loads, you'll find your ITECH 100 folder and look for that file that you created. Mine is called Flyer, and hit link. And then finally, you'll see the link appear here, and you'll hit submit assignment, and you're done. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next tutorial.